Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of Camera Basics, where I'm getting you out of auto into manual. Last episode we talked about your ISO, your aperture and your shutter speed, and how if you change one, the knock-on effect is the others have to change. But what I didn't show you was real-world examples. Well, today I've got my good friend Oliver, who's a runner, and we're going to use him as our subject, where we're going to capture some portraits, where we can test out different background blurs using the aperture. We're going to freeze his running action, check out his form with the faster shutter speed, and we're going to see what the knock-on effect is of using those and what we have to do to correct it as we go. So let's get this going and get our sprint on. First things first, let's try and tackle a portrait with Oliver, standing there looking so handsome in his shorts. I am going to use the 50mm. This has got an aperture of 1.8 on this one, so we can get some nice background blur. Right, we got Oliver now positioned just to the side of the camera with a nice scene. So I'm going to put this camera on into record mode so you can see what we're doing. And as you can see, we are currently at a shutter speed of 200 of a second, 3.2 aperture, and ISO 250. I just made it random. So now let's correct it. So we know that we want to shoot a nice blurry background. So let's get the aperture down to 1.8. Too much light coming in. Bring the ISO down to the minimum, 100. Still too bright, as you can see. But now the only thing we have left to change is the shutter speed. So if we start making this a faster speed, as you can see, at about a shutter speed of 1,000th of a second, we're getting quite a nice picture. And as you can see, the blur behind Oliver is looking good. Looking very good, Oliver. Yeah. So that's how you get a shallow depth of field. What if we want to get Oliver in focus with the background? Well, then we have to change the aperture back up to a higher depth of field. So start rotating it, and we're going back up. If we go to somewhere like f14 even, it's too dark now. We can bring the shutter speed down, but remember what I said, you don't really want to go lower than 1/60th for handheld, and we're still too dark. So the only thing left to do now is the ISO. We can bring that up, and at about ISO 800, we're back to where we were. Quite a nice pleasing shot, and the background's in more focus. So that's where your creativity can go. Let's get some actual pictures and show you them. I think I got you when you blinked.
I blink most of the time. So.
Oh yeah, let's get you to the side so we got the part. That's good. No, you stay where you were. But it's strong as well. I don't want that man shouting in the background though.
No, I'm quite vocal, isn't he, with this dog? Go for a walk. That's what you're doing, surely.
Tilt slightly that way again.
Oh, it's tilt.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm not a model, in case you've noticed.
I don't know why I'm shooting 100 photos at once.
Well, it's so you can get me not blinking.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Because I just got you squinting again.
Oh, it's really, like, it's not bright, but it's bright.
So that's a portrait. I've slapped on the 100mm lens this time because I want to get some compression going on. Now we're talking about capturing the moment, like freezing the action, and to do that we need to make sure the shutter speed is as fast as it can be while getting enough light in to capture that moment in time. So I think we'll be good enough to go with a setting of about 1,000th of a second, That's definitely going to freeze a runner. That's probably too high, but it's good enough for us. I want to get the background blur still, so we'll go for the lowest this lens can do, which is a 2.8. And looking at live view, I think ISO could even be just at 100, but let's go a little bit higher. Let's go 160 ISO, and let's capture Oliver in his run. Let's get some shots. Okay, Oliver. Yeah, we definitely got some, but let's do some more. Go do some more. Come on, runner. Get in action. Come on, get fit. See, I could be the runner, but nah. That's pretty good. So 1,000th of a second definitely caught that action. Let's now try what might happen if you put it in auto. This camera can't do auto, unfortunately, but I will put in a random setting. Well, I'll just reduce the shutter speed to something that might not capture the moment. So let's go back to 1/60th of a second. We will then need to make our ISO a lot lower because obviously there's too much light coming in. Way too much light coming in, which unfortunately that means we're maxed out everything. We have to get the aperture down, back up. So let's go back up. That's about right. F5.6. Hey boy. Okay, Oliver. Let's go. Yep. Perfect example. His hand, his fingers are blurry. So that just goes to show the bad example. So, the last thing we need to talk about is the ISO. Now, on a day like today where it's overcast, it's like a giant softbox where it's beautifully lit everywhere, so it's going to be hard to show you the ISO, so we got to turn the camera into a very unusable mode. You can just come stand wherever you want to stand, doesn't matter. This is a bad example. Yeah, get in the shot, come on, come in.
Okay.
Yeah!
I'm really short now.
Let's just say, for example, the camera is set to an ISO of 6400. That's quite a high number, which means the camera sensor's really sensitive to light, which means we need to reduce the amount of light coming in. So, two ways we can do that. We can either reduce the aperture to like a f14, f22, but that means we get no background blur. I still want to get a nice portrait, but I want to show you a bad example of noise. So we're going to keep the aperture on 2.8. The only thing left to change then is the shutter speed. So we need to go way, way higher, crank it up. What is that? Way, oh my gosh. You know what? This camera's maxed out. 8,000th of a second and it's still too bright. So we're going to have to change the aperture a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. Go f4. And we're just about right. Let's get a shot. Completely pointless. I tried. Like I said, today is not the best day to show ISO. Just know that the lower the number, the cleaner the picture, the less noise. So always try and keep that as low as you can. I'll show you this example, but it's not that bad. You know, like I keep saying, modern cameras can handle ISO quite well now. Bye. That's it for this video. I hope you took something from it and you can, you know, go out again and practice a bit more, and I'd love to see your examples or any comments below. Like the video if you like it, please subscribe. The next video is going to be equally as awesome, no doubt, and I enjoy making these, so it'd be great to have your support. Thank you and see you on the next video. Bye for now. Oh, I'm standing on a poor worm. Ah, this poor little guy was being tread on by me.
Yes, I don't think it's good video if you're just there with your head down, just changing settings. It doesn't mean anything to anyone, does it?
Make sure I don't look fat in my t-shirt.